record. We have the encoder. We live.
Welcome back. Thank you once again for hanging out with us. This is the one and only IT and the D Show, episode 385, brought to you live from our quarantined homes. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That's Dave the Geek. Randy, I do the Twitter. Oh, I said it. Is doing it's fine. Doing the Twitters. Find us online, itandthed.com. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere. Find podcasts or so.
I'm trying to think.
See,
this makes Bob's wrong plus 369, I believe.
Yeah, 60. You said 69. See, it's kind of like the Bernie meme. It only lasts about 3 days. So Randy, I do the blanks, is doing the blanks. Right. That lasted about 3 days. Then we move on. Kind of like GameStop. Lasted 3 days, and now the the problem with this show is we record on Mondays.
That's still not going on.
Yes and no. It's kind of gone. Like now everyone, like the whole hold.
Well, yeah.
That's whole. I think that the t-shirts are just starting to come out now, and it's like, I don't know, the Dogecoin t-shirts. So listen, I know you haven't been living under a rock. You've been following us really close. I just want to bring it up because there's some people that I really want to trash on.
This is absolutely one of those weeks where I wish we did a show more than once a week.
Every day? No, I know. That's what I said. It's bad that we record on Mondays because pretty much it's done. And all I got to say is hooray for the good guys. And the good guys are the people that found out that these hedge funds were trying to short and trash these companies that are hanging on by a thread anyway. And there's 55,000 employees.
Let's be clear. So they're not technically trashing on the company. They are taking a position and they're taking a gamble that the stock is going to drop below where it is today. And that's
so now let me be, I want to state this on record. I would rather collect bottles than buy short stock. That's all I got to say about that.
It is very vulturish. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's shit. It makes the system suck. If you want to buy stock at $5 and then ride it out for 10 years, and sell it like normal people do, then great. And if you're good enough to know which one's going to go up, good on you. But AMC's in the toilet and you're going to take a short on it. GameStop's hurting and you're going to take a short on it. Be bold. Go short on GE or something.
Bob, Gordon Gekko taught us that greed was good.
There's dude. His number was more. My number. I have a number. Everyone.
Yeah, we've talked about this many times. Yeah.
Most people, I'm my number's never more. The Bob in Grand Rapids is for sale, and that's my name. So I'm holy sweet Jesus. It's $15 million. And I go, if I got $15 million, I'm not buying nothing. I'm done.
Well, I'm going to buy all the dumb shit that I want, but I'm not going to buy a business. Yeah.
No, exactly. They're not going to work. But then you got the media now is starting to take the hedge fund side. And they're these Redditors, they're making it out like these people did something wrong. And you have people coming on TV now going, we need regulation. Regulation for what? Talking about a stock on social media?
Well, so
buying it through traditional means?
And that's the funny part to me is, I'm sorry, but the SEC and NASDAQ saying they're going to regulate stuff that they see showing up on social media. Okay, so if you see it in a chat room, does that mean you're going to start regulating anything that's discussed in a boardroom? Because that's where all these conversations have been happening for decades.
Martini bars and steakhouses and dude. And here's the kicker: our old buddy from 2008 crash, Ben Bernanke. Guess what he does today?
Yep.
He sits on the board at Citadel. What does Citadel own? Robinhood.
40% of it.
Robinhood was You want to talk about trash and shit? Halting selling? They halt buying or selling?
They halted buying, I believe. And
originally it was buying.
Yeah. and it was weird how it all came down because yes, I mean a lot of the flurry of activity was happening um on a Reddit forum and then a Discord channel. The Discord channel got shut down because apparently, as happens on the internet, people got stupid and shitty and became assholes, and so Discord said, "Oh well, this violates our content policy," yada yada yada, shut it down.
Well, it went to
Yeah,
Facebook too, because I got invited to the Facebook group.
yeah, and so I mean, it
The
was
Wall Street
it was
Bets.
one of those things where there's nothing wrong with what happened. I mean, God bless the guy that actually did the research, because let's be real, reading through the documentation to find out what a hedge fund has a short position in is not thrilling reading. Like, this is not a Tom Clancy novel. This is not, an action-packed ride. It is dry, boring, stale-ass financial documents. And he noticed that this one hedge fund in particular had a super heavy position, shorting GameStop, and said, you know what if we boost that up and A, make a little money, and B, happen to screw them while we're doing it? Cool.
Yeah, not just screw them, f them dry in the
Oh yeah, dude,
backseat of a Volkswagen.
yeah, I believe they lost what was it, 63% of their entire value in the month of January.
It's in the double-digit billions.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite is George Sherman is the CEO of GameStop.
Oh, dude, this was an
Who he's
amazing
just basically
story.
Yeah, he's just basically biting his nails and riding this COVID thing out and figuring out how the hell do you sell games you can download at home.
Well, yeah, because I mean
And
so the guy, when he became CEO, and it was what, 2 years ago, they gave him
yeah,
2.3 million
19.
shares.
So yeah, the stock was $25. He got $10 a share. It was 2.3 million shares in the company. It was worth $23 million. Today he's worth $8 billion on paper.
Sell.
So I know.
Well, and I think that's, honestly, so like one of the things I read is that they can't, like, the people on the board of the company and that sort of thing can't sell until the quarterly earnings come out, which I believe is March. So yeah, he went from biting his nails riding out COVID to biting his nails waiting to see how this shit's gonna last until March so he can cash out.
Right. There's a
I mean, I
bunch of
would.
cool stories. There was like a 10-year-old kid who got like $60 a GameStop
Yeah.
stock on his birthday, and now it's worth like 3,400.
Yep.
And they're gonna keep 1,000 for investing, put 2,200 in for college. I'm like, stuff like that makes me smile. And by the time I found out about it, it was way too late. And I'm not at the point where I'm throwing a lot of money on that stuff anymore. Like, you might as well throw it on black at the casino that's open right now serving food. But for the most part, I mean, and then you got you got Jimmy Kimmel, who's taking the side of the hedge fund people, like, and being all virtuous. I don't know. Somebody was he said some shit online. I wish I would have remembered it. I tried to wipe it out, but they were just trashing on him about how, oh, weren't you the one that did blackface, Jimmy? Weren't you the one that had girls with big boobs jumping on trampolines, Jimmy?
Right.
And now you're being all virtuous? Now you're being virtuous? Like, I know you got a little older, but come on, man.
Well, I mean, but that's one of those things. I mean, I guess that, God, the Man Show was what, 20 years ago now?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you documented, here's the thing: if you documented, here's the thing: Jackass, they're still doing Jackass. You go from Jackass to now you're trying to be some like news pundit,
right.
like Knoxville still, he's in the hospital right now because Jackass 4, they're getting too old for this shit. Like seriously, there's like 3 of them in the hospital right now.
Is that the title? Is that the title of the movie? We're too old for this shit.
Getting too old for this shit? Yeah, probably it should be. No, but you know what I mean? No, Jackass is gonna Jackass. You can't go from, I can't imagine Bill Burr all of a sudden now going on like, I'm your CNN host, Bill Burr, and we're going to talk about how bad this Republicans
I'm here to talk to you about politics. Yeah.
Right. Come on. And Kimmel's in a bad spot because it's the Late Show, but like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like Carson. Not that I watch Carson religiously, but Letterman never took political positions. Like, kiss my ass. Like, I don't know.
Letterman was pretty liberal. He absolutely was.
Oh, he was, but it wasn't not in a smug dick way.
Oh yeah,
like Kimmel is.
true.
It's different. I don't. It's one thing if you're. I don't care what you are, but if like once you turn into an asshole about it, and
Yeah. In reality. Hey, so I mean, you lightly touched on this. So restaurants and bars opened up today in the state of Michigan with 25% indoor capacity. I did get a little bit of clarification. I had posted this on my page earlier. I had spoke with a lot of people over the weekend in the bar and restaurant industry, and they all had the same confusion, which like really drove me nuts. And we've talked about this before, where like the one thing that I think is so important right now is, look, number one, be clear, and then number two, be consistent. We already know they're not consistent because we've had that conversation a million times. But these folks were like seriously concerned and a little bit tweaking out because they couldn't get a straight answer about, okay, so the letter of the law, and Randy actually posted this as a response. The way it's written says that, okay, indoor has to shut down at 10 o'clock. Cool. Does that mean that they can then push everyone outside and keep using the outdoor seating and the outdoor stuff that they've invested in until their normal closing time? Nobody I talked to could get a straight answer, not from the health department, not even from the liquor commission, as to which was, in fact, they were getting conflicting answers, which was the worst part. And so basically everybody I knew was just basically, they're like, all right, well, look, we're just going to do it. And we'll wait and see until somebody gets fined, and then we'll know that's the wrong way to do it. Got a little bit of clarification today, later this afternoon, from Augie, actually, of all people, who said that basically the Restaurant Association did get clarification from the legislature that yes, only indoor has to close at 10 p.m. and then they can still operate outside. So,
speaking of fines and total dick move, which I'm not even shocked about. So last week we talked about, Barstool still in town.
yeah, way to go, Bob. Way to bring that to the national intent.
Right, yeah, I did. Well, like Portnoy, who's El Presidente, he did the Coney off Lafayette. Well, he did it. He ate both of them inside.
Yep.
And guess who got fined? Both those places.
They didn't get fined for that. So they got fined. Well,
that's for eating indoors.
Well, no. Lafayette got fined because of a follow-up visit where nobody was wearing masks. American did not get fined because when the health department showed up, everybody was.
Oh yeah. Well, Lafayette, they said it was the third time this month.
Yeah.
But for wearing masks improperly.
Yeah,
so they
were down around their chins. Yeah.
It was kind of like my kids this weekend playing soccer. It was all chin straps.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the chin diaper, from the pandemic episode.
Right. Well, you got to put one under, one. It's three now, so you got to put one over your eyes, one under your chin, and then one over your head. then that works.
Still none cover your mouth and nose.
Just GIMP masks for everyone.
No, right. But at least you're wearing three, so
Just GIMP masks for everyone. But yeah, so I mean, and nobody would reply to a comment, if they showed up because of the video. I don't know if you caught this, but in one of the videos, the one at Lafayette, the guy actually said, no, sit down, eat it here. We'll break the law. It's okay. Probably not the smartest thing to be saying on video.
When you're on video, right. Well, and here's the thing, like you look at that going, it's one guy in the store. He's raising money for small business that we should have been doing, but he's got to do it now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fine him despite that. It's like, God, sometimes you just want to take government and go like, just think a little bit. Like you're the one that should be raising.
By the people.
No, but they're the ones that they gave all these PPP loans hastily to companies that didn't need them because they could.
Oh my God, home. That was and the second round is just as much of a cluster.
Right. And then they forget about the people that have zero revenue because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you got what was it? 3,000 restaurants now are going out are done.
Yeah. Dude, it's not
a big deal.
Well, and the sad reality is I believe the stat in the story that I saw today said that at least 40% of restaurants in the Metro Detroit area have said even with these relaxed rules, they're still not opening for indoor because their overhead far exceeds anything that they could make with only 25% capacity. So why bother?
Well, that's their biggest cost.
Yeah.
Turn the lights on.
Well, yeah, and one
food costs
staff.
is-
Yeah.
Right. And then the funny thing, all these restaurants are closing, and then you got our good buddies at Chick-fil-A opened up in Shelby.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
So hear me out here. So it's on the northeast corner of Hall and Shaner. Hall and Shaner is already a cluster bleep.
It's already a shit show.
Road,
yeah.
Yeah. If you ever drove on a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I had was it my sister-in-law? Someone I was talking to going, why is Shaner backed up to the Steak and Shake? So if you know the traffic patterns, it's a east-west. Hall Road's east-west. Shaner's north-south. It's on the plaza, not on the corner, but east, like a quarter mile from Shaner, right? I'm doing a lousy job painting this picture.
No, I know. Yeah, I know where you are.
Shaner traffic.
Where is
traffic
in relation to the Golden Butthole? I think that's what everybody needs to know.
Right across the street from the Golden Butthole. Right across the street. But like people were lining up at Chick-fil-A at 3 a.m. on opening day.
Literally.
By 6.
We're sitting in the drive-thru at 3 a.m.
And it's in a large plaza with like a Michael's and all the clothing
your favorite
stores, like an REI. Huh?
Your favorite store, Michael's.
Yeah. But like, and then what? Like, thank God I knew nobody that was in that line. I would have destroyed them.
I saw quite a few people that posted pictures of it as they were driving by. Like, what the hell, WTF, what the heck is going on? That kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
No, it was all the people trashing on the protesters. Like, don't you have homes?
Right.
Like, your ass better not be in the line at Chick-fil-A at 3 a.m.
God, you remember when Hopcat opened downtown and the line for the stupid free crack fries for a year, and
yeah.
I mean, it's people. It's again.
They weren't giving it anything.
They weren't even giving. They weren't even giving anything away. It was just the selfie op. Here I am in the Chick-fil-A line. I'm one of the first people. Dude,
I forgot a couple things. I forgot a couple things with the GameStop stuff I needed to talk about.
Okay.
I'm talking to one of my buddies. He's like, "You buying?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You buying Dogecoin?" So I'm like, "What the hell's Dogecoin?" So I Google it. This has got to be one of the dumbest things. So this is a cryptocurrency started as a joke by like two guys that not right now has like one of the highest circulations, like higher than Bitcoin in terms of like volume.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it was like 0.007 cents. Now it's like 3, 4, 5 cents. It goes up and down. But like everyone's doing like this Doge, and it's like
back in 2014,
I don't even know where to start. What's that?
Back in 2014, I mined some Dogecoin. I think I got like $12-13 US out of it, the deal. Just by letting a program run on a computer.
For?
Well,
that was the one that they said you could. That was the one that you said you could actually mine decently, even though it was like a joke currency. But like the T-shirts are out now with the stupid dog meme.
Oh, it's absolutely a thing.
I think this is the one. This is the one where I think Reddit tried to troll Wall Street, getting like Dogecoin billboards and shit, and they're all sitting there giggling, like, like I could just hear the snide giggles from that crowd. Yeah, and then now it's becoming a thing where they're talking. Now you have the news saying Reddit is saying buy silver, and it's driving silver prices up. Silver went up like 50 cents, right? So like. And they're like, no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
So Elon Musk did a Clubhouse thing yesterday, and somebody asked him about everything that's going on.
He tweeted Doge.
Huh?
He tweeted out Doge.
Oh, I know.
And sent it even worse in a
frenzy. And so people asked him. Somebody asked him about what do you think about this, that, and the other thing. And I thought his answer was kind of like, when you think about it, scarily accurate. When he just kind of shrugged and he was like, what do you want me to say? Like, when I say things, it shifts the market.
Right.
And that's like, dude, that's a crazy thing. That's kind of the one that everybody is sort of waiting on to see what happens, is if Musk is going to dive in, because he's got a history out there of not being a fan of shorts in general. And so
You mean he has a soul?
yeah, go figure. Elon Musk has a soul. And so if he decides to dive in and like starts having like somebody, because it won't be him, but somebody on his staff, hey, go find me another hedge fund that has a really overly heavy short position on something, and I'm gonna F with it. Dude, he can destroy company just by himself. Like he could decide
Well,
to
if you
just
think Reddit, yeah, Reddit thought they had power, just letting Musk get behind it.
oh yeah.
Also,
I mean
you know,
he's bored. I mean, he's always doing he's always looking for something new to amuse himself, so why not?
the one thing that I don't want to happen, it already happened, where they're like Reddit's being mentioned on the news, then all the people that think they are Reddit, like we did it, Reddit, like with the
Oh,
exclamation one, we did it, like they this
no.
time they finally did do it though. After they've been saying they've been doing stuff for years and years and years and years. But now they can wear that one. They can wear that feather in their fedora with pride.
Hey, I mean, dude, I've told you forever that my whole take on Reddit is that it has always been the most Isley cantina of the internet. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. But you know what? I'm a fan. I love this entire process. I love everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing. They played the rule. They
There's some very, very no, it's just like it's society. You have some very, very funny people and some normal people. Then you have like those 10 assholes on all sides of the spectrum
that are
that like
unfortunately the loudest. Yeah.
yeah, and then you have the bots, and then that's the problem with it is you don't need to be. You can have like 73 names, throwaway accounts. You know, if you were your name, you act a lot. When I'm Bob W on Facebook, I act a shitload different than when I'm,
we're,
Smorgasbord
we're,
Incorporated on.
we're aware.
Yeah.
So, dude,
Now that no, I'm just like no, I'm like a hacker on Call of Duty when I get spectators and I calm down. Now that I know Randy watches my I totally
now I got
not
to be
getting into the
good.
arguments anymore that I used to. And you know what? Screw you, Google. Even though you own my soul and I'm bound to you for the rest of my life, they went ahead and they went and took Robinhood in the App Store down to a 1-star. Not that you're never going to buy Robinhood again.
Well,
They
no.
get enough
So what?
shit
So
press.
yeah, I mean, so basically, Robinhood halted trading, pissed a lot of people off, and so they started flooding it with 1-star reviews in the Google App Store and the Apple Store. However, apparently, none of those negative reviews were showing up in the Apple Store, but they very much were in the Google Play Store.
It took it down to a legit 1-star.
Yeah, and so Google apparently just deleted over 100,000 reviews that had come in.
And their excuse was it was like a coordinated and inorganic reviews, and I'm like, no, they were all pissed off at the company. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
like it was a
it
house
doesn't get
mom
any
that
more
said,
organic than that. Yeah.
right. It was like it wasn't like some house mom that didn't get her pita bread at a Lebanese restaurant and then tells all their friends to leave
And we
1-star
talked,
reviews.
yeah.
That's inorganic, right? These are Red Robin users. These are Robinhood
Red
users.
Robin, yum.
Robinhood. But at least Robinhood's a very good employer.
Dude, I loved that meme that came out that said, it's ironic that, they're named Robin Hood, and then when some actual Robin Hood shit started happening, they turned it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's what's
So
going
I hear
on
I hear they're rebranding as Sir John now.
Friar, they need the haircuts, all of them. To appease an unhappy staff, Robinhood on Thursday provided roughly 1,000 employees a $40 credit to DoorDash. So someone quotes like $40 a DoorDash credit to help pay off our morals. Wrote
To buy my
a
soul.
member of the employee group to belong. But like, could you imagine you just did one of the shittiest things as a company could do? Your PR is a nightmare right now. Hey guys, get yourself and your girlfriend or boyfriend something real nice at DoorDash. Like,
but for
oh,
$4
you
or less.
guys are amazing. Yeah, I like you now.
Dude,
You're not the bad company.
So you know what? This is one of those great stories. I don't in fact I don't even know that you know this story. Phenomenally, once upon a time, for a little company that I worked for, said, hey, you know what? You won employee of the month. Go spend $100 on whatever, and just expense it. Like and it'll be just whatever. Cool. So I did, and then the owner, the HR lady was like, well, but we need the receipt. I was like, oh, wait, you actually need the receipt? She was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And so I go back to my car and I get the receipt, and I had done a little shopping at Lover's Lane, and bought
I
a
was gonna say it was Flight Club, but yeah.
no, and bought a certain device that was rather high end. And so she looks at it and she just starts laughing, and she's like,
Light plugs are $100, Dave.
no, Bob. And she's like, I won't even say his name, but with the owner of the company needs to sign off on this, right? I'm like, oh my God. And and the guy that owned the company was like the squeakiest, like cleanest little Mormon dude you've ever met in your life. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll bring it over to him. And so I bring it over and he looks at it and he's like, oh, he's like, well, what's Lover's Lane? I've never heard of that store before. And I look at him and I go, it's a couple store. And he gets like all red and he was like, okay, just sign.
In there before.
Wow, couples, how embarrassing.
It's a thing. But yeah, so hey,
Dave got a peg. Yeah, if I had to show my CEO I bought a pegging device at Lover's Lane for my $100 gift card.
Wasn't a strap on, for the love of God, Jesus.
My favorite was there's a strip club on 8 Mile, and this was back in my HP days, and I found out through like a line of people, like they go, hey, you can take out this certain company that rhymes out with schmompuware, and they have a sports bar. So on the receipt, instead of saying it was like whatever,
yeah.
they said it was like B&G Sports Bar.
Yeah.
And so like I could turn the receipt in, like, hey, that worked.
Yeah, that's a thing. But hey, so speaking of couple stores and getting screwed, that is a phenomenal segue. Did you look at this Jason Collier story at all?
I
I
looked up the name, but I didn't look into a lot of the details.
Boys, I'm disappointed in you.
No, it's like guy had like 2 wives and 6 girlfriends and 18 mistresses. It's like,
it's the beauty of social media. So this guy lives in this little tiny town called Stinnett, Texas, like population 2,000 or something like that, little tiny joint. And he's married, 4 kids. And so everything was all fine and good until some girl posts a photo of herself and her boyfriend as her new profile picture. And one of her friends goes, oh my God, I know that guy's wife. And she was like, what? And so I got clued into this like 2 hours in. And so watching all of the drama on Facebook unveil in real time was amazing. So this guy is a police chief. He's the police chief of this town. He's also an ordained minister. And his whole shtick was he would only like so he had his wife and 4 kids, and then he would have girlfriends that were at least an hour away. And he had several of them, 2 of whom.
That's pretty much every tech sales guy I know.
way to out yourself, Bob. And so, but like 2 of them he had proposed to, and that he wanted to marry.
That's his biggest mistake,
dude. And they all and every one of them eventually got tagged in on this Facebook thread of her profile picture. It was unbelievable. Well, then, so the one that posted the profile picture was like, well, yeah, like I asked, like, so she's like, I did my homework and I did a little Googling. So this guy had apparently, so he was the police chief. Like I said, apparently he had admin rights on the Stinnett Police Department Facebook page, which, by the way, he eventually shut down in the midst of all this. And he had edited his bio and profile and the announcement of his hiring to remove the part about being married with 4 kids.
Whoa.
But so she Googled, found out, asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, no, that's being annulled. It's not a big deal, yada, yada, yada," and shot her a court document that said, "Hey, for an annulment." That was a faked court document. So as this explodes on social media, kids, if you're paying attention at home, do not fake a court document. That's a felony. And so not only did he resign his job, so this all broke on like Monday. On Wednesday, he resigns his job as police chief. On Thursday, he is arrested by the Texas Rangers because he has falsified official court documents in order to try to pull off this like little multi-gaming fraud.
Now what are you supposed to do? You got to go work at Walmart now.
Well, it
You pretty much have to work.
And what's like, so that like that's the thing. Like I don't like that's the like this is, I mean, it's not the only case of shit like this happening, but mother of God, dude, like why? Yeah, I just don't understand why people can't be honest with
Why propose?
well,
For one.
oh yeah, well, and he's telling one girl that the one girlfriend that he's being like he's got this special job. He's got to go to Nashville to help investigate the bombing that happened down there over Christmas. Meanwhile, he's in Taos, New Mexico, with another girlfriend. Because that's the thing, dude. This thread evolved into them like trading pictures of, oh my God, he was with me this date. Oh yeah, here's the timestamp on this picture. Here's the video he sent me. Here's the video he sent me. It's
See, now here's the 2 things you can't get away with in this day and age is serial killing, like the Night Stalker, and having multiple wives. It's just too many Nest cams, too much digital, many phone pictures.
Yeah, the old the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon now applies to everyone. Like they're like you and I are 6 degrees away from somebody in the remotest village in like Nigeria. Like that's that's just how it works these days.
Pretty much. Speaking of that, it's actually Thailand, but it's close. This is my favorite story of the week. I read it and then I read it again.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. That way. It's still far. Target. I had to read this headline 3 times. Target joins other retailers in dropping Choco coconut products over forced monkey labor allegations.
Dude, I literally had to read this story twice because I thought at first I thought you were sending an onion link. I truly did not believe that this was a real story.
NBCnews.com.
And so I mean, I guess so let's put this in context. This is PETA is touting this as a big win for them because there's a company in Thailand that's using monkeys to get coconuts off trees so they can make coconut water and coconut milk and all these other coconut products. And their PETA was mad that the monkeys are being used as slaves.
They were training them to climb them up, twist the coconuts until they fell, then they'd come back down.
Why is this a problem? I don't understand.
They say it's unfortunate cruelty. The monkeys, we don't like to see them abused this way. I couldn't even imagine though, like sitting there with your boss going, boss, let's not hire people. Let me get a couple monkeys and they'll climb up there and we just have to give them bananas and shit. Like, okay, let's do that. Like,
why would
when does that when does it even become a conversation though? Like,
I mean, I don't know, maybe right off the bat, like, because like that's my thing is don't monkeys go up and get coconuts anyway? Like, is this a truly unusual behavior for them? I don't
know if they have the chisel though to open them. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, I didn't understand why that was such a big deal and why. Yeah, because
I don't know if that's what PETA's looking. If that's what PETA's looking into, man, they're digging deep.
Well, they're keeping these monkeys captive and apparently punishing them by removing their teeth if they refuse.
Oh, because they were fighting back.
Yeah. Like these are
So it's not
wild
like the
monkeys.
horses in Franken where they're treated like gods. These are treated like shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they were like being dickheads or no.
Yeah.
They were removing teeth.
They were
them.
captive monkeys raised for this. They're wild monkeys that they're harvesting and beating into submission, basically.
I love how the after I sent this article on our Gmail
monkeys.
thread.
Are we allowed to do that? As isn't that part of being at the top of the food chain? Like, can't we do that?
those are horses.
Dolphins. We make dolphins jump through shit at SeaWorld, and they're not really thrilled about it. Like,
yeah, that's.
I sent these articles 2 days apart, but I said mine was for the Robin Hood halting trading. I said, eat a giant bag of monkey shit, you effing Fs. That was my lead in. I'm like, oh, I had no idea those were back to back. That's kind of funny.
Hey, so New England is having a really bad week. I got to be honest, I've never been happier to have been out of New England because, as we all know, that's where I grew up. Last week, huge internet outages, had massive issues. This week, huge snowstorms getting dumped on like nobody's business.
I don't get how you have internet outages in today's day and age. I really don't.
Someone wanted to plug in the coffee pot. That's usually how that works.
No, but there's peering stations everywhere in major metropolitan areas. There's dozens of them. This isn't like there's like 6 naps anymore. They're everywhere.
Right. But I mean, it always comes, dude. I mean, Tech 101, no matter how slick you think you are, there is always a single point of failure that you missed. Always.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing, though. It goes quickest path. So let's say the Jersey nap shits. Cool. It's going to go to Chicago. Or it's going to route through Canada. Or it's going to go across the pond.
And then that gets bogged down because of excessive traffic. And then, I mean, that's how that happens.
All I know is I hit my 100% for Comcast this month or last month, and I'm not happy. I got one warning. Now I have to pay.
You don't hit that.
Getting text.
You don't hit that every month.
I usually get to like 95, 97%. Now I was like a week left, and I hit the 100%.
Like, you have 3 kids. I have 2, and I like basically. What's usually funny is I usually get that warning around like 11 o'clock at night on the last day of the month.
No, it all started when I started playing Call of Duty during Christmas break.
So it's all your fault.
Yeah, I know. And while I'm playing, it's downloading 16 things, and I had to argue with my kid that wireless is faster than Ethernet directly plugged in when you have more wireless. So, she said, I plugged in directly to the router, so it should be faster. I'm like, well, we have 300 meg going into the house, so the wireless kind of, I'm getting 300 down on my Eero.
Yeah.
Doing a speed test. So
depends on what your device. Yeah, it depends on what the actual device supports.
Right.
What do we got? Dude. So this wasn't even on the list, but there were actually 2 Beaumont stories. So one was apparently somebody found a flaw in the vaccine sign-up list software to get in position for vaccinations for COVID. And what was it, 2,300, 2,400?
2,700
people basically jumped the line. Granted, all of those have since been canceled, but still managed to like jump ahead of the line. That's now been fixed. The other Beaumont story that's a little bit more concerning is the former Detroit sports reporter who died during a routine colonoscopy. Like that kind of jacked up. He went in for a colonoscopy, something with, either, the anesthesia, the anesthesiologist, he was intubated during the procedure. Was he intubated properly? Long story short, this guy died during what should have been a routine procedure. And now there is a witch hunt apparently going on at Beaumont. where, emails have gone out to employees that they are clearly more concerned about finding who leaked this story than they are about actually fixing the problem. And I mean, like, that's the sad reality, is that, like, Beaumont, used to be like that was like, if something was going wrong, you wanted to go to Beaumont. And with all the changes that have gone on over the course of the past year, that's no longer the case. They've outsourced all this stuff, and it's that they outsourced their anesthesia department to the lowest bidder. And we know how well that works from our roads.
Well, when I got Pseudomonas at St. Joe's, I brought it up to a few people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my wife got it and that's from dirty hospital water." It gets into, when they did my washout,
when they do the ribs,
yeah. And they're like, "Oh yeah, my wife got it at Beaumont." Like, oh wait, what? Like, you know what I mean? You don't expect that.
Yeah.
Like, they were the Cadillac of. But even funnier, I don't know what happened at McLaren Health. I won't say which one, but my wife got to go home early from work today because there was a pipe bomb threat at a hospital, right, of all things. So yeah, she was home by lunchtime.
Were they a vaccination spot? Because that happened this week.
Oh yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Did you see that?
Why would you stop people? Here's the thing: it's one thing not to get.
Go ahead.
No, it's one thing not to get vaccinated. It's another thing to, like, stop people from getting it. It's like, whatever happened to you, do you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't that's get the mindset of people.
Right. I mean, dude, and we've had this conversation a million times. Like, why does it bother you what somebody does in their bedroom, what somebody does, in their own lives? What is, it's like being in line at the sub shop and getting pissed off because the guy ahead of you is getting a meatball sub when you're going to order a club. You're not putting it in your mouth.
It takes longer to make the meatball. I totally get it. You got to heat it up and shit.
You're not putting it in your mouth. It has no impact on your life whatsoever. Just shut up and let that person enjoy their sandwich and move on. But yeah, I mean, people actually were protesting and blocking entry to a vaccination center. Just dumb. Yeah.
Just let them go do you. Like, don't get your vaccination.
Right.
I give a shit. You know what I mean?
Like, who cares? Yeah.
Right. Then go sit in your house with your not vaccinated ass, and fine. Good for you.
Or
Great.
Don't wait. Go out and get it and get intubated, and yeah, we'll see how that works out for you.
Yeah. Whatever. What we did forget about was I gave up on. I'm going to bring it up. WandaVision. I gave up on it. I flat out solely gave up on it. I thought the first episode. Huh?
How many did you watch before you gave up?
First one. I watched the first one. I said, I'm done. This is hot garbage. I want nothing to do with it. Oh my God, this whole time I haven't had my microphone. There. Now my microphone's plugged in.
I was wondering why you sounded a little hollow. There we go.
Yeah, that's why. Jesus Christ. I'm like, the cord's hanging down. I see the USB end. For the love of God. Ignore the first hour of the show today.
Let's re-record.
Yeah, no.
We'll start over. All right. Hey, welcome to episode 3.
Hey! Should have told me I sounded like I know I normally sound like shit anyway. So yeah, I gave up on the first episode, Randy. I honestly thought it was going to be a Honeymooners I Dream of Jeannie show, and that was it. I didn't think it was actually going to go anywhere. Because typically my take is, like, the really well-written shows, like, you end the show wanting more, those kind of shows. So all of a sudden I started hearing people going, oh shit, episode 4, oh shit. So I'm like, fine. So I sat down on Saturday and I caught up, and it turned into a Marvel show. And now people are mad that it turned into a Marvel show. They wanted it to be I Dream of Jeannie.
So, and that's the funny thing. Like, I think streaming services have ruined people. I really, really do. Like, I remember bitching when oh God, what was it? 11/23 came out, and it was, the story about, the JFK assassination. It was on Hulu, and like, that was the first series that I was really into that did the weekly release instead of the, hey, we're dropping an entire season on you.
Well, could you imagine Mandalorian though if it was dropped at once? So
like I said, so like the 11/22/63 was like, that was the first one that did it. And, and then the Mandalorian did it. So like that, like, I don't understand why people aren't okay with that premise now. Like
I didn't. Nobody was bitching about that. And people were bitching that it turned into a Marvel series. Then in the beginning, people were bitching because it was a hokey I Dream of Jeannie show.
Oh no, dude! I like the bitching that I saw was basically that it took 4 episodes to get interesting to them.
Oh, well, here's the like I remember you remember when Lost dropped? Like the first episode, you were like,
I'm
sweet Jesus, mother of God. Like
happier than I've literally have never watched an episode of that show.
Oh, the
I didn't
first
watch it either.
episode completely drew you in and was like every show ended like, God damn it. Like you can't wait till the next one. Like I think the problem is that bar's been set so high by so many really good shows.
So on so the like I guess recent history, like the show that did that either the best or the worst, I guess depending on your point of view, to me, like Cobra Kai. Dude, Cobra Kai has done such a great job of ending an episode on shit, I have to watch the next one right now moment. Like they like, and now granted, and they drop an entire season at once, and so that's good. But like people don't remember when a season of a show had 22, 26 episodes. They don't remember when you only got 1 episode a week. They don't remember when that kind of like when that was the norm. And so like
And when,
streaming services have ruined people.
There
Well,
were
the problem
filler
is-
episodes and
It ruined and helped because like I remember watching Lost for 7 years and like they're in purgatory. God damn it, JJ Abrams. Like or like Saint Elsewhere. Like it was all the mind of a Down syndrome boy.
Yeah.
Like I invested all this time into it. Like at least not let me know what I'm in for, but like the first episode of WandaVision, if that was a representation of episode leading up to episode 4, that was a really piss poor, like try to get people wrapped into that show. It just really was.
So I mean, I'm with you. Like after listening to you and a couple other people, I haven't watched it yet. Now that I've heard everything about season 4, that's on my game plan for this week. It's
effing great. Like it's effing great. But like, yeah, it took me 4 episodes to like to get there. The third one was actually starting to hint that, and you were like, okay, what are you doing? You know, and the second one was like one thing was kind of weird, but like, you know, the I don't eat food jokes were getting old. You know what I mean? Like the laugh track was trash. You know, but now it like, okay, now we just got payoff.
The beekeeper probably should have been in episode 1 instead of episode 2.
Yeah,
of WandaVision. That would have helped. I think.
Well, you wouldn't have known what it was though.
But there was the sword logo on the back and things, and Wanda resetting so that it wasn't there. So, you know, a little bit more than just the stop it scene, I think, to set up something's not quite right here.
Right. But it's, you know, it's classic Marvel and it's awesome. I think it's really good.
Plus the way episode 4 started, holy cow.
Oh my God, dropped a bomb.
Yeah, right in the middle of Endgame, basically.
Right. Oh, that was like, oh my God. And I'm like screaming for my wife to come in and watch. And she's like, what am I watching? And I'm like, God damn it. I was like, I was so excited.
Why am I here?
I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, oh.
It took me a minute to realize. I was like, oh, is this just a creative intro? But no, they're unsnapping.
Right. It was like in the middle of that. It was like, did we just give it? Was that a spoiler alert? I'm sorry.
We spoil shows all the time. People should know.
Yeah, I know.
We do.
I know.
So hey, I'm gonna go grab ice and a refill. Do you want to have a little momentary memorial for Screech? I know that was more in your wheelhouse than mine.
No, we were telling stories about him today. He did stand-up comedy Screech Dustin Diamond passed away from cancer. He got it like 3 weeks ago and passed away. It was insanely.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that sane.
Bad story. Yeah, like stage 4 lung cancer. Found out about 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
passed
damn.
away quickly. We did see him at Chaplin's Comedy Club, which was the old bowling alley, Fountain View Lanes on 15 in Groesbeck.
Okay.
Me, and the guys I grew up with, and we used to always like ask people to go to the Post Bar. That was our thing. Like Post Bar Mount Clemens was the thing. So we asked Emo Phillips and we asked Kevin Nealon and like pretty much Pauly Shore. Like, hey, I work at this bar down the street. You know what I mean? We'll take care of you. You know, a lot of pretty girls. And Dustin Diamond was like, Nah. But do you guys have any weed? Like, he just flat out, like, I don't want to hang out with you, but if I'll buy some pot from you if you want. So, and he was an awful stand-up comic, by the way, like one of the worst I've ever seen in doing stand-up in my life. Not even one funny story.
He did some crazy things after, in between, Saved by the Bell and death.
What, porn
and like the VH1 reality contest shows, like with washed up celebrities.
Well, he never really made it. Like, you know what I mean? There was all the other ones kind of had a career,
right?
Like him and Lark Voorhees, they were the ones that were left behind. And now, you look at Mario Lopez was on Entertainment Tonight, and Tiffany, they were all huge prominent stars. And then basically at the end of the day, so, and then you sent a thing over about the last thing I think I want to watch, and I know I'm going to watch it, is the damn Snyder Cut for Justice League.
Yeah,
we've been talking about it for 6 months already. Just get it over with.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it since the original version hit the theater.
No, and I was who was I arguing with? I think I was arguing with my daughter, and she's like, DC sucks, Dad. And I go, you need to understand something. For my age, like, Marvel not sucked, but like, you had, the Incredible Hulk was an awesome show. Captain America was trash. He was on a motorcycle with a stupid plastic shield. Iron Man was a trash can.
Linda Carter High, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I go, but we had, like, I grew up on Super Friends, man. Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom.
The Legion of Doom.
Yeah, I had 60s Batman, like everything, like Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like that was the dope shit. That was like the good. That was the good eating. That's all we had, but that was the good eating. There wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, Marvel wasn't like, there was never this argument because we just took what we could get.
No, because dude, the best X-Men did was the cartoon.
You cut out, Dave.
Yeah, you cut out.
Sorry, I was saying the best that Marvel did was the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, they had some earlier cartoons like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and things that were mediocre at best.
Yeah, but it was still the song. It was about the song. It wasn't even about the show. X-Men wasn't until I was in college.
Yeah, 93, 95.
Yeah.
Right. I was already almost done with college. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, and I remember the video game more than I remember the cartoon.
Oh, which was so good.
It was. You can get it at 1UP Arcade, I think, for like $500 to $600.
Storm was so fragile, though.
Storm, shit on my lap, Storm.
But we do, yeah. But Storm has that one scene with why can't I think of the big robots, the Sentinels, where dude, who knew Storm had that backside? Wow.
Everyone.
But back to the Justice League Snyder Cut. It's apparently going to be 4 hours long. Like, no wonder it didn't make it to theaters.
Well, and they're still
not doing intermissions these days.
So they're still releasing it as 4 1-hour episodes. Yes.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds horrible.
So that was the plan that they announced before. Like, so like they announced the release date, great, but the last update we saw from a format perspective was they were releasing it as 4 1-hour episodes.
The release strategy has seemingly changed from the initial 4-episode miniseries to a single feature film.
Oh, Jesus, tap dancing Christ!
I'll sit and watch it on a Saturday. What else? Now that the world's open,
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Well, no, because Randy,
if you had $1 for every time you've said that.
No, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, like, I'm being the purist that read the book, smiting that it's hot garbage. Like, I wish there was Solomon Grundy and Apache Chief and the Wonder Twins and bringing, like, I want the good bad guys. I don't want the one Steppenwolf that I never heard of before and fancy RoboCop. No, I want Aquaman to ride on a seahorse.
Giant purple seahorse. No,
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Randy, I know you're the eye drone among us. If you're going to get an iPhone 12, apparently don't get a pacemaker ever.
Yeah, so Apple published guidelines that says that iPhone 12s could interfere with medical devices. Which isn't that a standard warning on most electronic devices?
Isn't that the same as flying?
Yeah, but this one seemed a little like take it a little more seriously. Like we're very aware that it could happen.
Apple says, though all iPhone 12 models contain more magnets than prior iPhone models, they're not expected to pose a greater risk of magnetic interference to medical devices than prior iPhone models.
That's such a classic news piece.
So
the iPhone 12 could kill you. Maybe we're going to tell you after sports and weather.
Well, then maybe all iPhones can stop pacemakers. Maybe that's it. If it's no worse than any previous model, maybe they've all been doing this. We just didn't know.
Maybe that's what Apple wants.
Hey, could be.
But Bob, basically, keep it 6 inches away from your heart.
Yeah, you're gonna queue up to spend an overnight session in a 7-Eleven.
No, I don't. Why?
I just thought this was entertaining. There's apparently a new 7-Eleven is getting ready to open up in Dallas, and they're renting it out as an Airbnb for 2 one-night stays. You can't take both. It is open for 2 people. They're outfitting it with a PS5 and a big screen to play games, and you can apparently just raid the 7-Eleven to your heart's content while you're there. I'm not going to lie, for the low price of $11, spending a night at 7-Eleven playing PlayStation 5 and having access to all the Red Bull and snacks and that kind of crap that I want for $11, not a bad deal.
No. I could eat that much in beef jerky in 3 seconds.
That's what I mean. And you could do that for $11.
Wait, it includes all you can eat food?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
No way.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I'd be doing the Wheeze the Juice with the Slurpee machine. I can tell you that right now. Stino man. This is stupid. You know what I want 7-Elevens to have again? The 2 video games, that little nook.
I want 7-Elevens to have freaking double gulps again. They got rid of the big cups like over a year ago now.
That was
the biggest drink you can get is 32 ounces now.
It was enough for a Boone's Farm bottle to go across the border. That was fine by me. Thank Bloomberg for that one. No big sodas.
Nice.
Can't you? But they sell the Bubba mugs there for the 64 ounce.
They absolutely do. Yeah.
Most obnoxious coolers in the history.
But you can't refill them right now. So you're going to buy a $7 mug every time you want more than 32 ounces of liquid?
You can't bring in the mug?
No refills.
Shiz, I thought you could bring your own coffee mugs in. They used to back in the day.
You could pre-pandemic, but they've shut down refills.
Oh.
What's
the dumb? Oh, I was at my kid's school for her play. They got to wear the welding shields, but I didn't realize drinking faucets were arbiters of COVID spread.
Have you seen people use drinking fountains?
Kinda.
Like putting their lips right up on the tap and
no, I've seen people do that, which basically prohibits me from ever using them ever.
When's the last time you drank out of a drinking fountain? Let's be candid.
Not because I've seen people do that, and I'm like, no.
There's always gum in it.
Yeah, my favorite is when you push the button and the water shoots out over beyond the fountain basin.
The 16 candles, yeah. Did you? I read it, but I didn't read it. It's like I skimmed it, and it sounded so Google warns of this social engineering method.
So this was
North
interesting.
Korea.
Yeah, so basically, North Korea, they're setting up these websites that deliberately have an exploit built into them. If you're running Win 10 and Chrome, you are vulnerable to them.
But they're writing legitimate blogs and Twitter feeds.
Yeah, I mean, they're mostly legit. They've said, some of the exploits they've talked about are just patently false and don't exist. But they've then created a bunch of these, basically spam Twitter bots to tweet and talk about the things that are posted there for the express purpose of getting you to click a link to the site, which then hijacks and takes over your system.
But then they're also doing
where they released an update, I believe, yesterday to correct.
Well, then they're contacting security researchers to ask them to collaborate, and then once they agree, they'll send over a Visual Studio project containing malware.
Yep.
So they're getting all these security researchers putting malware on their machines, which I couldn't imagine a security researcher falling for that shit. Who knows?
It's like me with weren't we at the B-sides conference when the guy ran there was here's the USB drive with what you need. Okay, click.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's just like the fact that the time that it involves to like write this legitimate thing just for that sole, like, God.
Again, just take 10% of the time and use your powers for good, not evil, and we'll all be better off.
No, and I'm still watching, like, I think we talked about this like a month ago, the YouTube channel where the guy sits on the phone for like 2 hours
Yes.
with the people, like for the cards. The best part is he's getting it more advanced where he's redeeming fake. He built a website called like Community Central.bank, and like he wrote this code, and he basically just opens up the code to change the bank account numbers, and he's like showing like, I transfer all the money to my son so you can't steal from me. And it's like, then he flips between husband and wife, and he's like, why are you trying to get my money? And the guys are like, don't turn off your computer, like they're screaming at him, and it's like, and he's sitting there giggling the whole time.
That's outstanding.
They're like, get the gift cards. He goes, do you mean this to tell my husband to go to the gas station and buy gift cards? So then he's like, oh, I'm on Google Play, I'm going to redeem them. He's like, don't redeem them. Tell me the code. He's like, well, I want to put it on the computer. So he like does this whole elaborate, and they're painful watching it. I'm not going to lie. Like, you laugh, but you're like going, oh my God. Like
that's actually a thing.
Yeah. 2 hours, like on the phone,
Oh, hey, I forgot to mention at the top, because we always talk about events. We still haven't scheduled those yet. But we are bringing back Free Podcast Day this weekend. We have that running in the Detroit, Northville, and Hamtramck locations, basically all weekend long. We're going to do them Saturday and Sunday around the shows that we have booked, obviously. But so, hey, if you want to check it out, hit PodcastDetroit.com, hit the Free Podcast Day link, and yeah, we're doing a thing.
Wee.
Gonna see how that goes.
I can't see it not going well.
No, I mean, honestly, like it has literally been a year since we have done, like the last one we did was the first weekend of February last year. And it bugs me that we haven't been able to do one because of everything that's been going on. And I'm looking forward to like seeing some new people and seeing some new faces with masks on, at least until they're in the studios. This is going to be the official launch per se of the Hamtramck location. They're totally stoked and dorked about it. So this should be a good thing.
Yeah. I've known my physical therapist for like almost a year now. And she's like, oh, that's what you look like. Cause I had to take my mask off because I literally couldn't breathe after this thing we did. I'm like, she goes, I don't know how it was. She goes, show me your picture on Facebook so I know what you look like. I'm like,
nice.
And by the way, best wishes to Mr. Matt Stafford going to LA. Been a fixture on my Sunday television for the last 12 years of my life. Watched every basically play he's ever done, except for maybe 1% of them. And it's sad to see him go, but he's gonna turn into in my opinion, he's gonna be another Justin Verlander. And I'm not gonna root for the Rams, but I'm gonna root for him. And
I thought you meant leak sex tape.
Who's
leaked nudes? Justin
Verlander. Yeah, Verlander.
Yeah, nobody knew Justin Verlander could actually finish until the fappening happened. That was.
Yeah, I was gonna go into some details and jokes, but I am gonna refrain. I'll talk to him offline.
Bob, that was we made all of those jokes.
I remember
the happening happened.
I'm pretending that it's still funny.
Yeah, so I mean, interesting. I'm curious to see. Like, I know basically everything I've said, or everything I've read from Lions fans, because you know me, I don't pay attention to football whatsoever. Think that this is going to be a good thing for the Lions. They got a couple picks out of the deal. Goff is going to be basically a transitional quarterback between right now, this moment, and whoever they pick up in the draft.
He was a number one pick 4 years ago. Where he went to a Super Bowl and he's got a 600 winning percentage.
Well, and they said I think I saw something today that said this is the first time that two number one picks have
ever been traded for each other. Well, the crazy thing is, if you look at what the Rams used a number one, two number twos, and two number threes to trade up to get him to draft Goff
4 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. So they drafted. So it's already cost them 4 number ones, or like all the whatever the loot that they
right.
Because they spent it, so they're like, whatever, they're remortgaging, or they're not gonna have a first round pick for another 7 years. But
it's the Red Wings then, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. But the NFL draft's a lot more important than like hockey, baseball.
Which Speaking of, I shot this picture into one of the group chats, and I was kind of curious. I had a friend that went to a Wings game and took a picture from their seats, and I just thought it was funny that there were people actually in the arena.
They let people in the arena.
Oh, do you not remember the picture that I shot across?
No.
It was in the you, me, Eric, and Eddie chat.
Okay.
And so like half the arena had people in it, the other half did not, and the half that didn't is the half that's behind the benches, i.e., where the TV cameras are pointed at. So I'm like, okay, like that seems a little shady. Like, are you trying to make it look like there's nobody actually in the arena, or what's going on here? Like, I just thought that was really, really weird.
Or it's like a pro wrestling thing where it looks like they only put everyone in one section and then they only film from that section.
Oh no, like because if
It
you
was
thought,
opposite though.
yeah, exactly, and it was just really, really weird. I mean, I just like I get they're trying to start, or they're starting to try to bring fans back in, but I mean, it just seemed really weird to me that if you're doing that you would do it in such a way that it would preclude you from showing fans on TV unless you were trying to hide something. It just seemed
It's better than what wrestling's doing right now. Like it's on Royal Rumble's one of my favorite nights of the year, and it's like I didn't even watch it. I can't.
I was like, that was yesterday, right?
Yeah, but it's like you got like 2,000 32-inch monitors like around the ring, and you have all these like one person in each TV cheering, and it's bad. Like I'd rather just not even watch.
Everyone's max headroom.
Pretty much. And then this guy's cheering and the other guy doesn't know what he's doing, and one guy claps the whole time, and it's just
nice.
Just really obnoxious. Anyway.
All right, well that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nah, we're gonna wrap things up for episode 385 of the IT in the D show. On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't gotta go home, you just gotta get the hell out of here. See you next week. Be careful. Don't be a dick at the bars. Tip your waitresses and waiters.
Very much so.
Beat it.